Well, hey everybody, Mike Griffith here along with D. Orlando Ledbetter of AJC's DawgNation, and we were here to watch Georgia's Pro Day where 21 athletes worked out in front of all 32 NFL teams. Very strong contingent from the Atlanta Falcons. They had a double-digit number of coaches here. Kirby Smart saying the Falcons always interested in Georgia Bulldogs. Let's just start right there with the Atlanta Falcons and which Georgia players the Falcons may be interested in, D-Led.
Well, Deandre Baker certainly won. The Falcons let go of 3 cornerbacks here over the offseason, Robert Alford, Brian Poole, and Justin Bethel. They have to restock their cornerback posse. They know that, they know Desmond Trufant's back. They believe Isaiah Oliver, can play right cornerback, and they believe DeMonte Casey could play the nickel. But there's a drop-off from that group of 3 to Blendy Ray Wilson, who was the 6th cornerback last year. So they want to restock that, and 14th pick might be a good time to do that, whether if that's Deandre Baker, Trayvon Mullen from Clemson. I don't see them drafting Greedy Williams from LSU. But, yeah, they certainly can go cornerback early. McCole Hartman could be a pick later. They like his return ability. They need some depth at wide receiver. He's got an upside at wide receiver as a slot receiver in the NFL. He could certainly be on their radar. And we saw today where Lamont Gilliard, the center, was getting a lot of attention from Falcons line coach Chris Morgan and his assistant Bob Cronenberg. Those are the 3 that we're watching. And we also asked the general manager about Jonathan Ledbetter, who he thought could be a very good, solid pro, maybe not a first-day pick, but one of those guys who can do some damage once he gets into the NFL.
No doubt. Let's start with Deandre Baker. Deandre ran a 4.52 at the NFL Combine. We were there. I think we were both surprised. Deandre was also surprised. He ran again today and said that he didn't hear any times in the 4.5s. Everything was in the 4.4 range. How important was it for Deandre Baker to run that mid 4.4 number?
It was very important, Mike, because Trayvon Mullen ran a 4.46 at his combine. Then he stood on that at Clemson's Pro Day, which I was at last Thursday. And Greedy Williams is fast, so you knew that he needed to get in his neighborhood. So I had him for a 4.46. That certainly helped him out. Threw him back into the mix with the 2 top cornerbacks, because what I was hearing at Clemson is that they're 3 cornerbacks with a first-round grade, and then there's a big drop-off. So it's those 3 guys competing for, perhaps a top 15 spot in the draft.
Now, McCole Hardman, he ran a 4.33 at the Combine in Indianapolis earlier this month. McCole did not run the 40 today, but he did do some other drills. What do teams want to see from McCole Hardman, a guy that really only had 2 years working as a receiver?
Yeah, they want to see his 3-cone drill time, his 20-yard shuttle time, to see if that speed could change directions real fast. Everybody's looking for that jet sweep guy, that Tyreek Hill guy who can get in the open field and do double moves and get wide open against these zone coverages now. And so they want to. That's what they see. That's what they're looking for when they scout a player like McCole Hardman. And then knowing that, hey, we can work with his route running. We can work on his, escapability and pulling away from nickelbacks. In that slot, he's got to be able. He has what they call a 2-way go, and they want to be able to see if he could set players up and then go the other way and get open and create some space for his quarterback.
Let's stay on that receiver area. There were 3 other receivers getting some attention today. Of course, Riley Ridley, who's been projected as high as a first-rounder, and now I've seen him drop to 3rd or 4th round after he ran that 4.58 in Indianapolis. Terry Godwin, who I think opened some eyes with a 4.55 in Indianapolis. Big hands, certainly a reliable target. And then today, Jason Stanley, a guy who didn't have the opportunity to go to the Combine D-Led, but a guy who runs in the 4.3 range at 6'2", 6'3", plays special teams. Give me a breakdown on where these guys may go in the NFL draft.
Yeah, Riley Ridley, they love his route running ability. He could go high second. I don't think he's in the first round discussion anymore. Just the time throws him off. You could see that Calvin.
Were you a little surprised he didn't run today? I was a little caught off guard he didn't try and beat that 4.58.
Yeah, no question. He got some bad advice somewhere. He's sitting on some bad numbers in regards to his 40 time. Maybe he's going to do it when he goes on his private workouts, but he definitely needs to run a lot faster. You know, Calvin ran a 4.43, his big brother, to get into the first round at 26. So that should have told him right there that he needed to go faster. He didn't do that today. Godwin's a guy who makes a lot of plays. His film's going to look pretty good from Georgia. You know, maybe not the workout warrior guy, but definitely one that you know, was productive here. So they're going to see that teams, you know, like the Patriots, like guys like him, that all they do is produce and play football. So you know, he'll be fine. And Stanley looked really good today. Of the guys who did not go to the combine, he was a star for Georgia today at the pro day. The speed's going to catch their attention. It's going to at least get him some workouts and maybe a invite to you know, maybe he can jump into the late rounds, or you know, definitely get an invite as an undrafted signed rookie.
Let's move over there to the tight end position. Isaac Nauta was a player, went up to the combine, ran a 4.91, really uncharacteristic, not a great combine for Isaac. Isaac came back, said he heard numbers in the 4.6, 4.7 range. How big was that for Isaac Nauta? Did he make the right decision coming out, D-Led? A lot of the people think Nauta wasn't going to get any better between his junior and senior year.
He did not. I mean, when they advise you not to come out, they're doing that for a reason. They're not projecting you as a first and at the worst case scenario, second round pick. The 4.91 was real up at the combine. I don't have any numbers on him from today. If he said he ran a 4.6, that's one of those deals where you retest the SAT taker because they scored so high. You know, Evander ran what he ran at the combine. If he ran a few five, you can look like 5 or 7 tenths lower, but not 3 whole seconds fast. He ain't gonna go 3 seconds fast.
Yeah, no, not a problem. But Nauta said he heard 4.6, 4.7. Said the worst he heard was 4.8. Nonetheless, I think he did better than he did. It'd be hard to do much worse. You mentioned Holyfield a moment ago. Elijah Holyfield, of course, we know he ran a 4.82 or a 4.78, whatever it was. Speed was an issue. Elijah came back here, ran again today. I don't have the numbers in front of me. What did you have him at, and what's the reality of where Elijah Holyfield may be picked in the draft?
Well, we had him at I had him at 4.81 and 4.86 on both of the runs. The people next to me had him at 4.76, 4.78. And, you know, those are the times that were right on track with what he ran at the combine. So those are what I've been told, that those are not draftable numbers. It's going to be really hard for a team to draft him with those numbers, but in actuality, it might be a good thing for him. He might be able to pick a team that he can go to and know that, you know, what the depth is at that running back position, and be in between the tackles, you know, runner for that team, and special teams guy and so forth. I'm not expecting him to get drafted this year.
Yeah, very common theory. You'd rather be a free agent and pick what team fits you the best, what has a need, rather than go in the 6th to the 7th round, get cut late, and then not have an opportunity to catch on with another team. Certainly Elijah Holyfield, a guy that a lot of Georgia fans have a lot of respect for, D-Led, but at the end of the day, 5'10", 215, and a 4.8 40, there's a lot of those people in the world that aren't playing pro football. So I want to ask you about another guy, though, before we cut this loose. There were a lot of guys that tested. One of the guys who didn't, DeAndre Walker. Now, he led Georgia with 7.5 sacks. We talked a lot about DeAndre in Indianapolis. Still unable to work out today. How damaging is that he wasn't ready by pro day?
Well, he's got another month. It's the March the 20th. The draft's on the 25th. You know, if he can get a workout in sometime between now and the 23rd, a mock workout where his agent sets it up for the interested teams to come in and see him. Teams will be circling back to guys like him. They want to, they see what they, they have the film, so they're going to see that, but they still want to get some workout in from him, some personal workouts with the drills, him doing NFL type things before they invest in the player. They have to understand that. But if he's not healthy, he's not healthy, and there won't be anything they can do about it.
His agent told AJC-DawgNation last night, April 12th, the tentative date for a workout for DeAndre Walker. D-Led, before I let you go, where can we find your stuff? Tell me what your Twitter handle is. What kind of stories you're going to have today?
Yeah, at DOrlando AJC, I got a quick blog up on the 10 things we learned today from the Georgia's Pro Day. We have a story coming up on, just the Falcons kind of commingling here at the UGA Pro Day and what they might be looking for through the eyes of their general manager. And we'll be moving on from here to getting ready for the draft. Our position-by-position series will be coming up. It's not budgeted yet, but we know it's that time of the year. It's April. We're going to be ranking players from 1 to 10 at every position so everybody can build their draft boards and be ready when the draft comes on April the 25th through the 27th. You can find all of that on at DOrlando AJC on Twitter.
Yeah, the draft's become quite an event. Right up the road in Nashville, Deandre Baker says he hasn't gotten an invitation yet.
He wants to go.
But he wants to go, and he plans on being there. I'm Mike Griffith. You can find me on Twitter at MikeGriffith32. Just posted a story on what Kirby Smart had to say about his players and also a very long video. Brandon Adams will be coming up very soon right here on DawgNation. You're going to want to stick around. Brandon's got a lot of great interviews, and you're going to want to check it out here on DawgNation. For D-Led, it's Mike Griffith. Everybody, have a great Wednesday afternoon.